there's a life I could have known, one beyond my wildest dreams. Maybe that road could have carried me to streets of gold. Things aren't always as they seem. Looking back on all the chances that I missed, some I held, some slipped away. One street over where my memories exist, I wondered what would change, I really couldn't say. In this life there's nothing certain, except the curtain that rises to the stage. Silly games of second guessing, I just forget the lessons that I couldn't learn. Because one street over there's a life I could have known that would have kept me from the one I had today. Times gone by, I've traded black dirt into clay. I thought my memories would end. One street over's now 1,000 miles away. When I close my eyes, I'm back to where I've been. In this life there's nothing certain, except the curtain that rises to the stage. Silly games of second guessing, I just forget the lessons that I couldn't learn. Because one street over there's a life I could have known that would have kept me from the one I had today. I took a walk one street over from my home, cracked and broken asphalt everywhere. I could have ended up just like that broken road, with a dead end in my path. Thank the Lord that I've got more than that. In this life there's nothing certain, except the curtain that rises to the stage. Silly games of second guessing, I won't forget the lessons that I don't deserve. Because one street over there's a life I could have known that would have kept me from the one I love today.
Hello, hello, hello. How are you doing? This is 1100 WSG. I'm Utah LaVern. And this is one street over. What you doing? Living right here in Robertson County. We get to live and work in Robertson County, in the words of Mayor Billy Vogel. And that means we are blessed and highly favored. And Scott Erwin, he gets to work in Robertson County. He doesn't get to live here. But you have to drive from Sumner County, right?
I do, yes, ma'am. Good morning.
Oh, you need to, come on over, man. Come on over.
We've been looking.
Okay, I don't blame you. I mean, it's just beautiful here.
It is.
I ran into a new family from Cali, San Diego yesterday. And it was so funny. I wanted to say, so you're some of our California refugees, but I didn't say that because I don't know. They're, some people who are not of the conservative political ilk, and I say that to them, they give me a dirty look. And so I was like, okay, I don't know you yet, but anyway, hi. How are you?
Good morning. Doing well, thank you.
Good morning. I was telling Scott I was expecting Gwen and Abigail this morning, and here's Scott. I'm like, we're going to have to get on Gwen. I don't know what she used to come in here with me all the time.
Yeah.
And I had some Israel questions for her this morning. If you know me well, I have this great passion for archaeology, and I'm just like, I have found this new book, and it is from an American that he was a Jewish American, then went over there and he moved there. And I'm having a hard time even remember the guy's name right now because I've just been made aware of him, and he's just fascinating and brilliant. I'm going to tell you the name of this guy. Hang on a second. The book's called When the Stones Speak, and who's it by? Come on, trying to find all this stuff that you're trying to find when you're. Oh, come on, Doran. Oh, Spielman. Doran Spielman. And people who study this stuff are probably like, oh, yeah, I've heard of him forever. Well, he's just gotten on my radar, and he just released a book in May called When the Stones Speak. If you're interested in Israel and just all the things, you need to read that book. It is awesome. Awesome. I've gone through it. I've already listened to it once, and I'm going through it again. Parts of it I've gone through 3 times. It's just that good.
Wow.
It's that good. Well, it's from he was a law student, and he went on this trip when he was like 18 because of his Jewish heritage and spent the summer in Israel and fell in love with Israel. Comes home, is trying to get into his law school studies, and his heart's in Israel. And his brother finally pulls him aside and says, if you want to move to Israel, you need to do it and quit living mom and dad's dream and live yours. And so he was just right on the edge of still being young enough to join the military. And he got over there, and there was a military conflict started about the time he enlisted, and they fast-tracked him to become a officer because of, his background. He was bilingual. They got him into, Hebraic studies to where he could, fluently speak the language, and he became a spokesperson, and it just, seeing his journey, and then right before he gets married, he's introduced to the head archaeologist at the City of David dig. And he becomes this fundraiser for the City of David. And he talks about the conflicts with the Arab communities and the Jewish communities and all these things that are just things that you wonder about. And you're like, oh, that's what happened. Because he was there. He witnessed a lot of this stuff. It is an awesome book. I mean, it is When the Stones Speak. And again, Doran Spielman. Wow. Great book.
I can tell you're passionate about it.
Yeah. But I was wanting to talk. See, Gwen's been to Israel on 2 times.
Yep.
And so I had some questions for her. And she didn't show up. But I'm so glad to see you, Scott. It's so good. You haven't been to Israel, have you?
No, ma'am.
Is that something on your bucket list you want to do?
My wife, she loves to travel abroad.
Yeah.
But there's so much I have not seen where we live.
Oh, I got you. Yeah, I'm with you.
Yeah, I've been to Japan, but that was when I was active duty.
Right.
So, I mean, there's so much here where we live.
I hear you.
That in my mind, and I've seen it on TV, but it's a bucket list. My son and I in 2 weeks will be in Key West, and we're doing a guys trip. It's a couple of his cousins and a good friend of mine who retired from the military.
That'd be a good time.
And we're just going to go on a deep sea fishing trip for a day.
Nice.
And just hang out for 4 days.
That's so awesome.
I don't have the desire to travel abroad. There's so much I haven't done here that I have a bucket list. Hopefully I get to do before I die one day.
I hear you. That's cool. That's cool. And, we just all have those things. And again, we've got an hour to talk to Scott this morning. So I'm just kind of, saying what's on my mind. And we've been talking about you, Gwen. And if the mics were hot in here, I tell everybody, assume these microphones are hot all the time. We were in here one day and had them pulled down. They were hearing every word we said. So I'm just kind of assuming. So you may have heard us talking about you, Gwen. We're like, why are you not getting in here in the mornings anymore? Because she used to come in on Fridays, on Faith Friday with me all the time. And she just, quit showing up. But anyway, life takes you down these roads and you just kind of go, I get it. Because sometimes when you're going through different seasons, it's hard to do some things. I went through that this past summer that, we're going through some challenges and you just kind of get, just kind of weary, and you're just like, I don't have to do that. So I'm not going to do that.
Just get a little bit beat up, don't you?
Yeah, you do. Yeah. You do. And that's okay. And you journey through it and you keep your faith strong and you get on the other side. And honestly, I think that's a really good lead into what you guys do in the VSO, the Veteran Service Office, because so many of our military have been through way too many of those seasons where they feel beat up, and they serve and they serve honorably and they serve well, and then they come out and they have expectations that aren't that don't, especially when it comes to their health. I've heard so many stories about ones that they have an injury, they have something that happens during their service, and then they think, okay, I'm gonna come out and they're gonna help me, and then especially probably 15 years ago, we've gotten so much better, I think, in the last 5 to 10 years, especially. But there was a time, 15, 20 years ago that they just couldn't get the help they needed.
Yeah.
You know, and so they get in those places where they do just kind of feel beat up. It's like, I've served my country, I've served honorably. They didn't pay me worth a flip when I was in, you know. I mean, that's, if you find out what military active duty makes, it's not awesome. And then taking out money for, you know, housing and all this. You think that's covered? No, 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 no. They take that out of their pay, including I mean, all that stuff. And finding that out when my son served, I was like, what? And on the other side, though, he was able, because he had a good VSO up in Cookeville that helped him navigate the waters of his GI Bill. He was able to get a great education and had stipends while he was doing it. He's had, you know, mortgage rates that he's, you know, things he's been able to do with his, you know, his mortgage. Great with the you know, with the Veterans Hospital, you know, going through the VA. What is it? The Veterans Hospital? What do we call it? I guess it's just
the VA.
The VA. Okay.
Yeah.
I was thinking veterans, the VA doesn't sound right, but so going through the VA for medical and things like that. So they've been so much better than they used to be. But we've got these guys that served in Vietnam and Korea. And of course, I don't think we have too many World War II's around anymore. Do you know of any World War II vets we still have around?
We just lost one recently. I was actually going through his record yesterday in the office.
Wow.
World War II, Korea.
Wow.
He got out in 1963, and looking to see what benefits his widow spouse may be eligible to apply for.
Right.
And I told Gwen, look at this. You know, there was part of his record I saw in there. He was fined $100 for, we call it public displays of affection. He was holding his girlfriend's hand, and he was fined $100. And you just come across stuff like that at sometimes in the.
Are you kidding me?
I am not.
Was it during World War II or during
I couldn't
Korea?
remember when, but that was a lot of money.
You better believe it.
Back then. And yeah, I came across that in his record. We've come across interesting things, and it's just kind of a wow.
Yeah.
You know, wow.
How old was he?
He was like 95.
Wow. God bless you, sir. Yeah. Man, I hate losing those treasures. I mean, just those amazing people.
Yeah. But my father, Vietnam veteran, I've spoken about him before. Vietnam veteran, he died of heart disease 10 years ago. And he went to the VA soon after he got out of the Army, had the experience he had, which wasn't good.
Yeah.
And he never went back. So I agree. It's gotten much better than it used to be. But it's still got a ways to go.
Right.
So I think that personally, we have leadership in our country that has a vested interest in improving things for us veterans. So we'll see how that plays out. I know there's a lot going on up in D.C. right now, and our involvement around the world. So I've got a few things I'm nervous about watching and seeing. You know, the last thing I'd hate to get pulled into was something abroad, and there goes our men and women. You know, it's expensive to take the fight overseas, but unless you want it on your east or west coast, that's what it takes is men and women to wave their, you know, hold up their right hand and say, I'll defend, and they go.
I have a sweet friend whose son raised his hand and was sworn into I mean, he had already taken the oath, but I think he reported for boot camp or whatever the Marines call it yesterday. Ty, God bless you. Praying over you, young man. I've been praying. He got on my military list the minute I saw he had signed up right after high school. And man, I just these ones, because I mean that's when my son joined and they had the big push in Afghanistan. That's hard. Yeah. You know, it gets nerve-wracking whenever you know something's going on. And so are you kind of looking at some things you think could materialize, or
I tell you what,
hope not. I mean,
I pray calmer heads prevail with some Jesus steps in and says, hey, slow down a little bit.
Yeah.
Because I think men can be men, and that says a lot. but when your actions influence a country and possibly the world, I get concerned when, quick decisions. I hope it's not quick decisions that are made.
Right.
So,
Well, let's just all pray. I mean, try. I hope everybody spends time in prayer, every day at some point, and try to find a place where you just do. And my husband, we try very intentionally. We don't always get it done, but man, we need to be praying over our nation. Sometimes too. That's one of the biggest prayers we need to have is for those who are leading us. And sometimes it's just like, okay, be with those who are leading us. Da, 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 da.
yeah.
And you need to just really be thinking about it. I do not follow the news much anymore, and that's really unusual for me. And so I know bits and pieces about some of the things, and but I don't. I don't follow it like I used to. So when I hear somebody like you that I know does, I'm kind of going, maybe I need to turn it back on for a minute.
Yeah.
But, and be more aware.
Well, my sister, some time ago, I said, ignorance is bliss. It's all bad, Scott. She'd tell me it's all bad. I said, sis, I understand.
Mm-hmm.
I said, but you have to be aware
Mm-hmm.
of what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
You can't just, put your head in the sand.
Mm-hmm. And I don't do that.
And it's easy to let it kind of bring you down.
I try to stay out of the political fray. I mean,
That's a mess.
Yeah, just like I know we've got a special election coming up with our representative. Dr. Green has resigned, so I will make sure that I examine the candidates and I will vote for the one that I think will do the best job. I will not just blindly go in and say, well, they say this is a nice guy.
Right.
No. I will be very diligent about that, and I will vote in that special election, and I hope all of you do. But so I pay very close attention to that. There's a preacher I follow out in Cookeville. His name's Bobby Davis, and I love it. He goes, if it's in your ability to affect or change it, then it's your responsibility. But if it's not, then give it to the Lord and live your life and be Jesus to the people around you. So that's what I'm saying. I will very, well educate myself, and I will vote. I will do the things. I'm in the schools. I'm where I need to be his hands and feet. But I know that people who are in leadership now, I can't do anything about it. I can't. There's not a thing I can do to influence them. So all I can do is on those that I have influence over, love them, and just try to be a light. Or to be a light, not try to be a light, be determined to be a light in a place that people, like your sister's saying, oh, it's just all bad. No, it's not. It's a beautiful time to live. I mean, we've got the most amazing opportunities with the technology we have. It's just breathtaking, but we've got to use it for good. And, that's what I'm trying to teach kids, with what we're doing with audio video is, man, the sky's the limit, but make sure that sky you're reaching.
That's the thing. I think some of the stuff we're getting into with the AI, there's so much good, but
you gotta be careful.
That's there's a movie out. It's a documentary out there called The Social Dilemma.
Oh, I've seen that. Yeah,
very interesting.
Yeah.
From the people that created things like Facebook. I do not have social media, because I got rid of it 3 or 4 years ago because of the political.
Right.
And I got tired of seeing the same stuff.
Oh yeah.
So I can text message and I YouTube.
Yeah.
That's about it.
Gotcha.
It's just because I would let stuff just get to me.
Mm-hmm.
So I said, I can't do that. But, so yeah, I do my best to stay away from the social media stuff, but I'll watch the news and I'll come home in the evenings and try to get caught up, Mm-hmm. I think you should, but what you're saying about voting and participating, I mean, so many people don't do it, but that's kind of one of the things that makes us America.
And it's what the people you represent and you yourself fought for, and so many died for, and just
that's why you have to.
Goodness, I mean,
think you should. You have to.
The lack of respect you have for what you have when you don't go and cast a ballot, guys. Come on.
But
I mean,
Yeah, you better be very careful
Yeah.
with me because I can get spun up.
Yeah.
If don't complain if you didn't vote.
No. Mm-mm.
If you didn't vote, I don't want to hear it, to be honest.
Yeah.
You know,
Absolutely.
that's just something that. And let me tell you something. A man years ago told me, Scott, I served 20 plus years in the Navy so that people could have differing opinions.
Yeah.
I said, you know what?
Absolutely.
You're right. Good or bad, whether you agree with me or not. And that's kind of the way I see it now.
Yeah.
We may not agree, have a reason for believing and fighting for what you believe in. Don't just say I saw it on TV on the way to work on the radio.
Truth.
But so have a reason and educate yourself. But we can have differing opinions and different views. But when some of our people where we live start to do dumb things and hurt other people and act out because of differences of views, that's where it becomes a problem.
Yeah.
You know, that's where, you know, we can differ all the day, but how we act sometimes, I'm just shocked with how inhumane
Yeah.
and we can be to each other.
Well, that's kind of where we when we started, and I was talking about all this stuff from Israel that I'm just intrigued with. So many things that are being espoused ever since, you know, the October attacks almost 2 years ago now, that and people who they just don't know what they're talking about. They just don't know what they're talking about. And so oftentimes we'll have our opinion, but we have absolutely no facts or information to back it up. And sometimes they'll even make reference to something. You're talking about AI, and you'll go look it up, and it's so AI generated. It's just people don't know how to recognize when something is false.
Sure.
And there is so much out there that I see pop up, and somebody will go, "Where did you see this?" Or they'll share something, and I'm like, that is just completely manufactured.
Yeah.
And how in the world do you not? I can now that they get me too. I mean, I've been tricked. I talked about that earlier in the summer too, and but we've got to be discerning this stuff. It is a wonderful, fascinating time. We are blessed and highly favored, but my goodness, all this stuff out there, you can't be lazy. You cannot be lazy. You have got to study this stuff, and you've got to spend time, you know, keeping yourself up to date about the things going on around you. And nothing more so than what's happening with our veterans. And I love that we have people like you that are so passionate about it. They're making sure you got their back. So
We
we're just
appreciate
been
it.
all over the place, but I like this. I just like talking to people. I mean, it's just fun. But anyway,
Oh, we
So-
appreciate it. We're lucky. You know, and as far as our boss, County Mayor Billy Vogel, he lets us run our office.
yeah,
You know, he lets us do what we do. We don't come to the county for a lot of asks every year. We just kind of we get by with what we have, and we make sure that we're being very prudent and intentional with, you know, what we spend money on. It's taxpayer money, and I'm well aware of that. And so the events that we're trying to get out and support now and do and be more visible, that's been a priority of mine, you know. So we got to see you at the recent recovery.
the Recovery Fest. Yes, I saw that y'all had a booth out there. It was
We
a little,
did.
little toasty.
It was a little.
I'm glad it was late in the day, but man,
Yeah.
it was still pretty toasty out there.
And this was our first year, and it was nice because we had a lot of both veterans and non-veterans stop by the booth, information, business card, you know, a lot of what we do and my purpose with getting out like that more is to get to know what resources we have. You know, our office,
Oh yeah,
we're limited on what we can do through Congress and the red tape that is the VA. So we like to network and see what other resources are out there. And so when we participated, you know, a few Fridays, it was the first Friday of August. We were out at the town square here in Springfield, and that was really nice. That was another one we did where we set up our tent and handed out a bunch of information, a lot of business cards. And that following week, I started getting phone calls from veterans who said, "Hey, I came by your booth, and so that's what I want."
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
if you don't remember anything we say, take my card.
Mm-hmm.
It has veteran on it, and call me.
Mm-hmm.
And you have, some veterans that Abigail's in the office too when she's not feeling under the weather like today. So there's some veterans that prefer a female veteran for different reasons, and so we try to give them options, and we just want to be kind of a resource. Maybe we can't help or do much on our end, but hey, here's a gentleman that can help you put in stairs to your house,
Yeah.
or a wheelchair ramp because dad's not doing well anymore, and they won't charge you for it. Because if you go through the VA, that's a year process, but this guy who's a local veteran on business in town,
That just wants to help other veterans.
he's a resource that we have.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm trying to get more into, resources.
And that's one thing too, as we are coming into the colder months.
Yeah.
If you hear about a veteran that's doesn't have, in the hot, if you have somebody that doesn't have any, air conditioning and things like that, you get into the cold and they don't have heat. Maybe they need stuff for the holidays that are coming up fast and furiously. All these things.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of the things that y'all do, the things that y'all do that fund all that.
Yeah.
So that's kind of a good way for us to say, because I'm thinking we're coming up on turkey shoots real quick.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so when do those start?
Let me see. Terry sent me this morning. So I think they start the first weekend in October, I want to say.
Okay.
First weekend in October, and they run through the week following Thanksgiving.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
that week after Thanksgiving, that's when it ends.
So we've only got about 4 weeks before they
But
start.
that's a
Yeah.
huge
Mhm.
deal. A lot of shooters come out to the American Legion. They're in Greenbrier. Get there early is all I can say, because you have to sign up, and they run in 16 firing lanes right now, and they probably run 20 to 25 different groups. And so you're there from 7 a.m. to noon.
Mm-hmm.
So you can sign up. If you get there early, you can sign up for the early rounds, and you may not have to, be there as late during the day if you can't. But that's they have really good breakfast there. I will attest to that. So
Who sponsors that? Is that like a potluck, or is it
the auxiliary?
Okay.
The ladies from the auxiliary, they always have a breakfast there, biscuits
They're
and
bringing
gravy.
it out and putting it
Yes,
together
ma'am.
and making it and contributing it.
Yep.
That's great.
And so it's just, when my son, he's a machinist out in Nashville now. He helps build aircraft parts.
Cool.
But when he wasn't working 12-hour shifts Friday, Saturday, Sunday, he and I would go out there on the Saturdays.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just nice to hang out. It's the Legion runs a good event. They don't allow outlaw guns, that are gonna win every time.
Yeah.
So, and they have
They're
good.
going to inspect your weapons.
They're gonna inspect the weapons. It's fair across the board,
Yeah.
and they do all gauges. I think 16, 410, 12, 20 gauge, and so that'll start. I want to say the first weekend in October.
Mm-hmm.
So that's something, and a lot of shooters, they'll try other turkey shoots around the area, and they usually end up coming back to the Legion because it's just the way it's ran.
Right.
So that's a big fundraiser and there are certainly expenses that come along with that, from keeping the lights on, the heat on in the Legion to the ammunition.
Mm-hmm.
But, I was thinking this morning, LaVern, the VFW, the Legion, these different organizations that we have out here, everything they do, it goes back, I don't know how many other organizations where they can say they don't get paid,
Right.
all this money that is raised, it goes back to veterans, back to high schools to fund different programs,
Mm-hmm.
to fund different awards. And that's what I'm I've been so focused on the last several months, is we have an older population in our Legion of VFWs, and I'm hoping that that doesn't go away.
Yeah.
To be honest with you, because all they do is give back to the community. Everything they do, the buddy poppies, they raise 10 grand. It all goes back to the community and the veterans. They're awesome about making sure that our veteran service office has money in an account, to where when our veteran, we had a veteran, he's passed away, but he had cancer, and I tried and Terry tried. We couldn't get it connected to service. It just wasn't service connected, so he wasn't getting paid for that diagnosis. But he had a small little house out here in Robertson, and he kept the heat on because he was always cold. I mean, and we spent quite a bit of money keeping his propane filled up so he could use his heat, use the heat. He was always cold. And so that's just one of many things that the Legion of VFW helps make sure that we were able to give back to the veterans here in Robertson County. So and we've done that many other ways, and you don't hear about it unless I bring it up or you ask about it, and I rarely bring it up. I think it's I want our listeners to know what we're doing, but at the same time I don't focus on that. Just know that the VFW and the Legion, everything they're doing, I'm hoping we can turn a curve here somehow, some way soon, and or we can start bringing in younger ones. I'm 50 years old. I'm one of the younger ones, so I just don't want to see, because all they do is give back, and I just would hate to see that start to dwindle.
Right. So it's like when you have the taps and all those kinds of things. Some of those guys are getting on up there. You need some younger ones to come up and do that.
Yeah, the American Legion, the VFW, they've got their honor guard.
Yeah.
Sometimes the branch of service, when a veteran passes, is not able to support the honors request, because all they do is military honors across the state, and they're busy.
They just have too many.
They have too many. And so when they can't, the Legion steps up and they say, hey, we'll fold the flag. We'll play taps. And the Legion, I forgot how many they did last year, but 40, 50 different times, different funerals they're doing a year.
Wow.
Where the branch of service couldn't support, and sometimes the family was requesting the gun salute, because that's all they know is the gun salute. Well, the 21 gun salute is meant for only certain veterans, retirees. Not every veteran is able to get that. Right. So if the branch of service can't do that, then the American Legion steps up in the VFW, and they have that for the family. Maybe that's what the veteran wanted. Yeah. All he wanted was a gun salute, Yeah. And that's what he gets, or that's what she gets. And so, hats off to the VFW, the American Legion Honor Guard. They step up. We have a few younger ones now on that team.
That's great.
But it's just it's slow. I'm hoping we get some more here soon. It's just trying to pull them in, to participate.
I love it. We're talking with Scott Erwin. He's our director of our Veterans Service Office here in Robertson County. And they are, the hours adjusted a couple of months ago now, that to where they had been working remotely a few days a week. There's somebody there all the time now. And Gwen is in the office always. You and Abigail switch your days that you work remotely, because it's just, with the research that you'll have to do, you need a dedicated day where you don't have those interruptions. But there's somebody there, because I know you were getting from the veterans. They're like, well, when are y'all? It was almost like you were only part-time.
Correct.
But you were full-time. And it's just, And that adjustment, I think, was really great. And with y'all in the new digs over there, the beautiful office building, I still haven't gotten in there. I've driven by it, just trying to find some time to run in there myself because of school, but
Yeah.
I will get by there. But we're talking about all things Veteran Service Office. Do have the turkey shoots coming up. He's got a stack of stuff here. I'm going to let him run through here, but I'm going to do a break, and then we're going to come back and reset with Scott Erwin. But I want to remind you, as I always do, about Barry and Rebecca Richards with Exit Prime Realty, our longest-running full-time sponsor here at One Street Over. We appreciate them so much. They were on the news last week on Channel 2. Because they gifted the city of Cross Plains with a smart car. We've been talking a lot about that. But I continued. If you look at Barry and Rebecca, if you go to their web pages, their Facebook page, you'll see the story, and it's a great story. I just love that. But they were celebrating the fact that they've been in Cross Plains for 30 years and just honoring the police department there. And when you go and check it out, you're going to see some beautiful homes that are listed. They are always putting up new homes that they are listing and working with. And if you're somebody that is wanting to sell, you've got Barry's marketing background that comes to the table and will make sure that when people are flipping through listings in the area that they're wanting to move, yours pops off the page because of the marketing expertise he has. He can do drone footage, walkthrough tours. He's, expert in photography, videography, all those things. And so yours is not going to get lost in the clutter is the bottom line. They are originally from Kentucky, like myself. So while they specialize in our Robertson County properties and selling the surrounding counties, they can also buy and sell across the state line in Kentucky. And they're going to make sure you're aware that when you have to pay a state income tax because you're living in Kentucky, even though you work in Tennessee, that is going to affect your bottom line. It's going to affect how much home you can buy. And they're going to make sure you're fully aware of that. They're going to, cross all those T's and dot all those I's. Rebecca, one of the first in the area to be a seniors real estate specialist, means that she cares about keeping her education up to where she can be the best agent possible to serve you. She has her agency office up in White House. Barry has his brokerage office here in Springfield. They've always been with Exit, but they were with the Garden Gate team for years and years and years. They, a couple of years ago, brought you a new branch in the Exit tree. It is Exit Prime Realty. Exit Prime Realty. It's where you can find out all about them. Barry and Rebecca Richards, or you can call Rebecca 615-504-7425, 615-504-7425. Barry's number, same one, just instead of 25, it's 24. Or you can go to sellwithbecky.com, sellwithbecky.com, or buy BUI, robertsoncounty.com. Always let them know U-Turn sent ya. All right, Scott, you got to get through this stack of papers here. We've been just talking all over the place, but I've enjoyed it. I love having these conversations that just that's why I tell everybody I could talk to you for 2 hours, just like we're sitting on the porch and visiting, and hopefully people find it interesting.
Yeah,
People tell me they do, so it's fun.
If you ask me what was on my mind, I'd probably say we don't have enough time.
Yeah, ain't that the truth?
There's a lot going on, but some of the monthly events coming up in September is the American Legion meeting on the 2nd of September. That here in Greenbrier at the Legion.
Are they done with the renovations there?
Still working on it.
Working on that because I know that the Tennessee Firearms Association had been meeting at Crossroads in the ballroom down there that Lee Murray calls it because they were under construction, but they were anticipating the Tennessee Firearms next meeting being in the normal Legion Hall.
Yeah, I think the inside is getting close to done.
Yeah, okay.
Now they're working on the mural on the outside, doing some little bit of maintenance on the outside of the building. It's an old building.
Sure. Hadn't
been touched in 20 plus years. So it looks great. I know Terry's been really heading that, and Miss Barbara, his wife, and some other volunteers. So Terry's out there just about 5-6 days a week.
Oh, wow.
He's out there. If he's not at
I thought he retired.
I thought so too.
Talking about Terry Wilson.
But he, if he's not at a VA medical appointment, usually he's out there at the Legion. He's tinkering and trying to wrap up some things. But that American Legion, the monthly American Legion meeting, will be on the 2nd of September at 6:30, 7:30. There at the Legion. And also on the 20th of September, VFW meets from 9:30 to 10:30. I have it out there. And of course, I usually try to make all of those. One of the events, a couple fundraisers I just want to plug real quick. One of them I picked up when we had the Recovery Fest is this Walk for Lives, United Against Fentanyl. And this fundraiser is going to be Saturday, September 20th at 10 a.m. It's going to be at the Martin Luther King Jr. Park off of Main Street. And you can register for that event if you go for walkforlives.org and use zip code 37172. They're going to have some educational booths and resources out there, some guest speakers like Dr. Sabi Kumar, and some of our officials from Cheatham County are going to be present as well. Lori Browning is the point of contact, and her mobile number is 615-630-0402, and that's Lori Browning. So this is something I hung on to, September 20th, United Against Fentanyl, if you want to be a part of that fundraiser. Something else the VFW has coming up is their annual Freedom Ride. That's going to be for VFW Post 2120. It's a little bit further out. That one is October the 4th at 11 a.m. This is a Freedom Ride where if you've got a motorcycle, they have a certain course they ride. There will be, at the end of the ride, there will be lunch served, $10 a plate. All proceeds will go to the VFW Post to help support the veterans, as always. But they're going to start at the American Legion there in Greenbrier. And that'll be October 4th at 11 a.m. So, but other than that, there's a couple routine events that I know are held at the Legion. This Healing Arts, Terry Wilson, who lived the office for many years, is a big advocate for this Healing Arts program. It's really therapy through art, therapy through painting. I've heard him talk about it. He has a lot of good things to say about it. They meet at the American Legion, alternating Wednesdays, 1 p.m. to 2:30.
So just every other Wednesday and reoccurring visit. So when is the next one? Do you know? Like which?
Let me
Because
see.
I'm if you can get plugged in and be there on the right day, then you know it's not the next week. It's
So Healing Arts on the September the 3rd.
Okay, so you've got one next week you can go to.
Yep.
So there won't be one today,
No.
but next Wednesday, and then you can plug in, and then from there you can hit it every other week.
So
And
yeah, and they have a decent turnout there. You know, there are a lot of things that I'm not able to participate in because of the office
sure.
and having to be there. But I know Terry said a lot of good things about that. And it's open to veterans, veteran spouses, surviving spouses, first responders, and their spouses.
That's great.
So it's not just veterans. And
You might find some hidden art talent. You never know.
yeah, some of the stuff that they make, because obviously the Legion VFW meetings are held there, is pretty impressive.
Mm-hmm.
And some of the ideas they come up with and things to do and what it means, it's pretty interesting. So, and this is something that the office participates in every month. It is the third Tuesday of each month from 8:30 to 10 a.m. This is the Coffee and Camaraderie. And it was started by a young man, a veteran. He used to work with the Robertson County Chamber of Commerce. And he just wanted it to be a get together. You know, it's to hang out, to network. Abigail and myself, we alternate on who's going to be there. Mm-hmm. And, you know, I know Abigail, this past Tuesday when I went, I brought my laptop. And so if veterans have questions about, hey, my status of my claim,
Yeah, and you can look
or
it up.
I can look it up,
Yeah.
you know, and it's just the Credit Union of Robertson County has been absolutely generous with allowing us to keep using the space. They always make sure there's coffee, you know. And one of the veterans brought, biscuits for everyone this last meeting. Donuts are always there. And so it's just, they open at 8:30. We're usually there till close to 10 a.m. And it's just, catching up. What's going on? Anything
that's
new?
great. I think it just sounds like
Just-
such a good time.
Once a month, every month.
Yeah.
So
I think
every
it just sounds
Tuesday,
like such a good
on the
time.
third Tuesday.
And
So,
we're talking about the credit union right here, just down from Tractor Supply and upstairs there.
yep.
I do business there, so I'm in there some, and I'm like, I gotta come in here sometimes and see the veterans and just
They're
say
awesome.
hi. Oh, I know. You just can't ask for a better group. Anytime I get to hang out with any of the veterans, it just blesses me greatly. I mean, it's just so
Yeah.
much. I just love them so much. With that, we've got 9/11 coming up. Are you guys doing anything with? Because 9/11 will happen before before I see you again. Do y'all have anything from the VSO office in association with
Not
9/11?
right now.
Okay.
Not right now that we're plugged into.
Right. That's
that I'm
more of a
aware.
first responders thing, but it's
Yeah.
still the military action post 9/11, of course. It's still, people talk about the war on terror. I don't think it ever ended. We started it, and right after 9/11, and it's been ongoing. I've never really seen. I know President Bush at one point, called an end to action or something to that effect, but that didn't end the action.
Yeah.
It was a nice, it looked good, but it wasn't really what.
Well, I think you've got with military conflicts and wars, you've got these official dates. It started here and there, but if you dig further, there was a presence in Vietnam,
Oh, yeah.
for years before it kicked off.
Mhm.
So,
Yeah. When you really get into it and study it.
sure, yeah. So, and they try to say that it's ended, but then has it ended? And sometimes that affects the way we file claims.
Oh,
There's some types of claims that we file. A veteran had to have served during a period of wartime. So are we at war or are we not?
yeah. Mm.
And that is determined by Congress. And so that's when who sets those dates. So we try to stay on top of the changes. And this year there are a lot with the VA that kind of helps us. One thing I was always worried about, and I would tell Terry in 2017, 2019, when I came out here, I started in 2017 as a veteran service officer. I had no idea what I was doing. I'd like to think I've gotten a little better since, but started in 17, was fortunate to come out here with Terry in 19. And I always told Terry, I don't want to tell my veteran there's nothing I can do because I don't know, and you don't know what you don't know. So I've done my best to try to stay on top of how can I help,
Mhm.
And if I'm not sure, let me look into it, because I want to be sure. So there are some times where our hands are tied, it is what it is. So, but I don't like to tell my veteran, because I don't know, that we can't do anything. So we try to stay up on as much of the changes as we can. And, especially with our widow spouses. When a veteran passes away, if they were getting disability and it stops, that's a huge financial impact to the spouse that's left. And there are ways to continue those benefits when a veteran passes. So you just need to come see us before you need us.
Yeah.
I tell my veterans, VA healthcare, you need to sign up for it. I'd rather you have it and not need it than need it and not have it.
Mhm.
So our office is the same way. If you've been putting things off, like so many of us do because we're all busy, you need to dedicate some time to say, hey, let me just go ahead and take care of this. Let me go see if I'm eligible to apply for anything. And you may be surprised. We've had veterans come in for hearing aids and, a year later they're 100%. They had no idea that their lung cancer or bladder cancer or prostate cancer was due to Agent Orange exposure. They just came in for hearing aids. So we have things like that happen often.
I've known so many veterans families of veterans, where they'll tell stories of their loved ones and that they passed, and it seems like 9 times out of 10 it's some kind of cancer, and then I start questioning them. Turns out they were absolutely exposed, and I'm like, are you aware that there's provisions now that you can still tap into, but you got to go in and do it, and they'll just dismiss it, and you try to explain to them. But by you going on record, it's going to help somebody else down the line that's trying to get their case seen and trying to say, yeah, there was this incident. And it's not like, it's like we always say, well, I came back with everything and I don't want to take what somebody else is. No. You're helping support somebody else's case, because if you have 10 people that had the same exposure and the same results versus one that's trying to battle it, it's a different story.
Yeah.
And you've got to, you need to go on record. And, I mean, it's just, you just got to go see this. You got to go see him. Got to go see Abigail and go see Gwen and get your paperwork in order. Maybe you don't need it right now, but there may be a day, at the very least, if you want some kind of a military funeral, get that done before it's needed so your family doesn't have to take care of it. Let me do another ad here. I need to talk about UPS Store, and, then we'll come back and we'll have a few more minutes to wrap up anything that we haven't covered, make sure to cover the hours and all those things that you guys are open. But the UPS Store, guys, I got to go by there. It's like y'all. It's where I drop off my Amazon packages. But when I'm in there, I always like looking around and just seeing what other people are doing in the other services that they're engaged in. I talk about the shipping all the time, the crazy things I've seen shipped out of there. If you have something that's an unusual size, an unusual item, go in. They can help you out. Large print items. They can do mailboxes, of course. My biggest thing I'm fascinated with is when I found out they were all notaries. We went through dealing with my parents. Have both passed, and we were settling some things back home. I needed a notary a couple of different times. All I had to do is walk into the UPS Store. Every single one of them are notaries. It's just so convenient, and a lot of people don't know it. So next time you need a notary, just slide into the UPS Store, and they can help you out. They've got a coupon going right now for the rest of August. Business cards, postcards, and invitations, 10% off, and 10% off all printing and laminating services for all teachers. And if you go and do their QR code and tell them, what your experience was like and how much you love them, you'll be entered for a $250 Amazon gift card. So the coupon they'll have a new coupon that'll come out in September. But the one for August, if you hang on to it, it never goes invalid. You can use it any time. And that's what's really cool about it. But they will have a new one that'll come out in September that you can check out. The big thing is just remember, when you're in there, look around and see all the other things that they're doing, not just the place to drop off your UPS or your Amazon packages, guys. They are so much more. And they're right here in Springfield. They're located right here on 513 Memorial Boulevard, right there by the HG Hills, in that plaza area just next to HG Hills. And if you want, you can give them a call at 615-384-0093, 615-384-0093. And as far as their hours, they are open. Let me see if I can get these hours to pull up here. I'm just trying to do 2 or 3 things at once. Y'all know how that goes. But they have hours absolutely every single day, including on Sunday. And the hours are just not, here we go. Here we are. Okay, the hours are 8 to 6:30. 8 to 6:30, Monday through Friday. Saturday, they are open 9 to 5, and then Sunday, 12 to 5. So they are open all the time, and you can go by and see them and just, I don't know. I'm seeing something here talking about maybe being closed on Monday. I'm not sure about that. I'll have to ask Tom about that. But when you pull their hours up on the social media, you'll find out again, 8 to 6:30 and during the week, and then from 9 to 5 on Saturday. And then on Sunday, they are open 12 to 5. The UPS Store, they are located right here in the heart of Springfield, 513 Memorial Boulevard, not just the place you drop off your Amazon packages. They are so much more. When you go by there, tell them U-Turn sent you. Nicest people ever. I compare them to Chick-fil-A people. They're that nice. They're just so, just so helpful.
Pretty
They never
nice.
never get stressed out. So they're awesome. Let's wrap it up, my friend. What have we missed? We've talked about everything, but have we missed anything?
The only thing I'd say is our new location. We've been there. It's been several months now, which we absolutely love. You have to come by. It's right across the street from the main Robertson County building where we used to be. We do have an active Facebook page. Gwen does a good job with keeping up on, because I told you I'm not social media type. I don't know what I'm doing. But if you would, please go to our Facebook page here in Robertson County Veteran Service Office, like our page so that it starts popping up more on different feeds. And our phone number is 615-382-6506. And we are 502 8th Avenue East, right across the street from Robertson County building. We are Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 4:30. Someone is there in the office 5 days a week. Abigail usually will have her admin day on Fridays, so she's working from home, and I take my admin day on Monday, which most counties operate that way, because if you're any good, you're deep diving into records, and that deep dive can take hours, days, weeks sometimes to find that piece of evidence that says the veteran was in Vietnam. That just takes time. The VA is not going to do that. That's our job. So had a veteran in here this week. I'm just going to tell you now, he was denied years ago because the VA was saying he was not exposed to Agent Orange. I got into his record last week and started digging and found evidence he was in Thailand.
Oh, wow.
And I put together an argument, and the VA came back and said, we concede exposure. You were there. And so he has a list of 10 different issues that we're going to claim, in the next week or two, because now the VA has finally said, yes, you were exposed.
Oh, wow.
So that takes time sometimes to go through records without phones ringing and, maybe walk-ins coming in. So that's why we have those admin days. But if you come by, if you call either one, the only time we're taking a lunch is from 12 to 1. But other than that, Monday through Friday till 4:30, we're there.
Okay. And I'm sitting here trying to find you on social media. So I need to talk to Gwen to see how to pull you guys up, because I'm seeing an old Veteran Service Office page.
Okay.
And so tell her to send me a link or something, and
I
we'll try
will.
to publicize that and help y'all out with that.
That'd be great. I looked at it yesterday, so
okay.
we'll make sure we look at it again.
Yeah, because there's sometimes we have the same thing happen with WSGI. There's an old Facebook page, and
Okay.
trying to get rid of those. So that would be one thing I would say, because I was just sitting here trying to find it, because I didn't realize y'all had a Facebook page.
Yep.
And so I will follow that just as soon as I get connected with that. That's
Yes, ma'am.
awesome. And Lee Marie's running us out, because it's 8 o'clock and it's Wednesday, and that means go show time. Thank you, Scott, so much.
Thank you very much.
For coming in, and the door's always open. Tell Gwen that, she needs to get it together.
Will.
Come on. Thank you guys for joining us. Thank you for being, Terry Martin will be in here tomorrow. I have invited him to come on and talk to us about all the things going on with the parks, because it's a lot. And of course, you're going to also have an update from the United Way. I've already talked to Danny Ashley, and next Thursday we're going to open up the entire hour, and we're going to have Robertson County players back in here, and we're going to see all about the Much Ado About Nothing play. So there's just all kinds of fun stuff coming on, and I hope you'll be a part of it. This is 1100 WSGI. Stay tuned for the Ghost Show with my sweet friend Lee Marie coming up next. Another full hour of local programming. Stay tuned.